Check this out, guys. We got a rattlesnake here. Just slithered right into the woods. A little bit hard to see. There's his head coming up over the log there. Look at that. He was in the road, and what's crazy is he's not even rattling. That's the scary thing. He's not even rattling at all. I don't know if it's the heat, but I'm super close. I'm just a few feet away. He's not rattling at all. Looks like a younger one, juvenile. These are the most dangerous. Just right off the side of the road, there he goes, slithering away. Check it out. Not rattling at all though, but you gotta really be careful out here this time of year in Pennsylvania. I was just checking on my trail camera, and I was just driving here and just saw it slither across the road. Almost ran it over. Just totally insane, but as you see, he wasn't rattling at all. And this is the second one that I saw in this area. There was another one just maybe 200 yards into the woods over there where I have another camera. And what's crazy is I was walking through that area. It was like a little trail, and I walked through the trail. It wasn't really a trail, it was actually a game trail from elk and deer. And the elk and deer, kind of just from walking so much in the same spot, created like a little trail through the brush. And I was just following that to get to my camera, because otherwise there's just a lot of weeds and stuff this time of year. And I walked through that trail to check my camera, and then 5 minutes later I'm walking back on the same trail, and there's a black rattlesnake curled up in the middle of the trail. I got within like, I don't know, 3 feet, but I was looking on the ground because I know this time of year there's a lot of rattlesnakes. I was just looking on the ground expecting to see one, because it was, you know, evening time. As you can see, sun just went down, and that's the time when rattlesnakes go into the brush. They stay out in the open during the day to heat up, then they go into the brush at night to cool down. But I was keeping my eye out, and thank God I was, because I would have just walked right on it. I mean, it was just like 3 feet in front of me, and it was actually somewhat curled up. I don't think it was like in a defensive position. I think it was just getting ready to sleep for the night, it seemed like. And it just started rattling. You know, I saw it sitting there, and I heard it rattle, and then I backed away, and it wasn't really rattling very intensely though, you know, and it obviously knew I was there for a while, you know, because I'm a big dude, and I'm sure it heard me or whatever. They don't hear, but they can sense your vibrations on the ground. And you know, it didn't rattle till I was very close, and you know, it wasn't like rattling really intensely the whole time. I mean, I could have just walked right on it, and you know, and like as you guys saw, this one right here, you know, it wasn't really rattling that much. I don't know if it's because of the heat and the dry weather. It's, you know, mid-August here in central PA, north central Pennsylvania. It's 90 degrees today and super dry. As you can see, the ground is just, you know, not a drop of water anywhere. It's been dry for the last 2 weeks, so I don't know if the snakes are just a little too tired from the heat. Wanted to just share that with you. Be careful if you're hiking this time of year, the summer months in Pennsylvania, or really anywhere in Appalachia, because rattlesnakes and copperheads are out. And if you're a prepper and you're thinking of bugging out, this is something you gotta take into consideration. I actually have snake-proof gaiters, which I didn't bring with me today, but that was just a reminder to make sure to bring my gaiters with me, because you know, I thought, well, I'm just going for a quick walk to my camera, which is literally 200 yards from this dirt road, okay? And as you see, there's rattlesnakes everywhere here. There was just one there, then there was one by my camera. That's 2 rattlesnakes. You know, I'm sure they're all over the place. They must have a den over here somewhere. If you see a lot of rattlesnakes, in one area, it means that they have a den. So chances are there could be maybe 200 snakes, you know, within a mile radius or less, even quarter-mile radius of where I'm at. But you have to be cognizant in the summer months. What you have to do is, if you're in open areas during the daytime, you have to look at the ground, because that's what they like to do, is lay out in the open and heat up, because they're cold-blooded. And then when it gets cooler out, or once they overheat, they'll go into the brush to cool down. And so you know, especially an area like this where you have an open area and then you have brush right next to it, whether it's a field or a hiking trail or an off-road like this, that's like prime rattlesnake territory. Because what they'll do is they'll go out in the open on this road, they'll soak up the heat from the road. Once they get hot, they'll slither off into the brush just like we saw. They don't go that far, maybe just 10, 20 feet, 30 feet. Then they'll cool off, and then they'll repeat. Once they get cold, they'll go back into the open, heat up again, so on and so forth. So when you're in these types of edge environments where you have brush next to a field, or a road next to brush, or hiking trails next to brush, you have to be on high alert, especially if you're walking like right on the edge, like right here, you know, or if it's like a very narrow trail where it's just like 2 feet wide. That is like super dangerous, at least here in north central Pennsylvania. So wanted to just share that with you. And if you're thinking of bugging out, make sure you have snake-proof gaiters if you live in an area that has rattlesnakes. And this was just a reminder, I think, to always take those gaiters, no matter how short of a walk you're gonna go on. You know, you may think, oh, I'm just gonna go a couple hundred yards, but you know, you could stumble upon a nest, you know, and there could be 20 snakes. So that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Just wanted to give you this quick public service announcement. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on bugging out, and I'll show you guys my gaiters and my summer bug out gear. You should always have separate gear for bugging out in the summer versus winter. You know, there's certain gear items that I have with my summer bug out kit that I don't have in my winter kit. So, you know, I have my snake-proof gaiters, I have water filters, you know, I swap those out. You know, a bug repellent, typically picaridin, so I can ward off any ticks. I use picaridin, 20% picaridin. It's not harmful to nylon and polyester synthetics. So picaridin, snake-proof gaiters, water filter. In the winter time, I swap that out with, you know, hand warmers, chest warmers, you know, different things like that. But that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Stay tuned for more bug out related content and more content from the Pennsylvania wilds. And until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.